One day I'll land that. Hello, world. So I have a comedian, which we all know we always love comedians on my channel. Please introduce us to who you are.
Hey, my name is the Fabler comedian. You can catch me on YouTube under the title Dannerium or the Fabler comedian. As we discuss it, I'll go ahead and plug my podcast a little later, but I want to focus on what Ashley has going on right now.
Why is that your name, the Fabler comedian?
Back in the day, I was in a rap group called the Coterie, and I thought some of the dopest rappers were ones that told stories and not just said words that sounded alike. So, old school, I got a thesaurus. I'm like, stories. I came across Aesop's fables. I was like, hey, a fable is a story. A fabler would be a storyteller. So when I stopped doing music, it kind of transitioned naturally to comedy because the best comedians tell the stories.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can get up and ask a question to follow with a punchline, but when you can tell a captivating story, twist it up a little bit and make everyone laugh, you are a fabler. So I stuck with it.
That's so cool. That sounds so cool. So how long have you been doing comedy?
About 6.5 years, maybe 7. But I think it's actually been natural, something for me to do. As a kid, my mom was like, whenever you get in trouble or something goes bad in your life, you always try to make fun of it to make yourself feel better. So I think the comedy gene was there. It was just percolating.
What made you want to get started doing comedy in the first place, taking it seriously?
My dad passed away, actually. And again, that comedy gene kicked in where I was texting jokes or emailing jokes or Facebooking jokes to family and friends to kind of lift their spirits during that time. And I have a cousin that's in comedy back in Cleveland, Ohio. And he's like, man, this stuff you be sending me be having me crying. My coworkers think you're crazy. You should just take all your texts and emails, put them together, and say them on stage. I was like, okay. So that was kind of the start. Now, I didn't do it exactly like that. I made up my own routine, but it was the start of something. And, rest in heaven to my father. But that's basically it. I want to thank my pops for the push.
What do you think are the ingredients to being a good comedian nowadays?
Practice. You definitely have to have self-confidence where you're not afraid to either be booed or laughed at. And you most definitely have to have thick skin because today, especially with the whole, everything has to be PC. You have to have the cojones, the huevos, the intestinal fortitude. I'm not going to say the nuts to basically stand up there and say what you want to say.
Yeah.
Because I could tell you that you're beautiful and somebody else could say, hey, she's not beautiful. Now, I could clown on them for 20 minutes and tell them how their eyebrows look, how their nose hairs are hanging out, looking like vines hanging from a jungle tree. So,
Wait, what? Okay. What do a pimp and a cowboy have in common?
You've been doing your research, ma'am. That is one of my opening jokes. Let me give you the background of that joke before I tell everybody what the punchline is. I like double entendres. Okay, so it's like you think you're going this way, but you actually end up here. So when you think of a pimp, what do you think about? Their employees, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do they do when their employees come up short on their money?
They slap them, right?
And they eventually fall down. When cowboys go out to party, they go to their clubs, they put on they put on the cowboy boots, they start doing the little dances. They call that a hoedown. So a pimp slaps his hoedown, cowboys have a hoedown. That's the double entendre. So I'm tying the two roles going down together as a joke. So when I say, what do a pimp and a cowboy have in common? Most people are like, pimp hats, cowboy hats. When I hear what they both know how to throw a hoedown, man, they lose it.
I like that. I like that. It's super clever. I have one for you.
Go for it.
Okay. So a vulture is bringing 3 of its eggs onto the airplane, and the stewardess said to the vulture, "You can only have 2 carry-ons at a time."
Got
was
it.
that
Carry-on.
bad? Was that bad?
That's a perfect example. There you go. Let me blow up my screen so you can get big. I'm multitasking. I got the electronics working on the side.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I'm practicing. Okay.
Feel free to use my joke.
Okay, I'll use yours then. I'll use hers instead.
No, use yours. Just use mine as a follow-up.
Okay. Speaking of hoes, I don't know if what is it called? There's like an Olympics for hoes now. I forget the name of it, but let's just call it the whore Olympics, right?
Yeah, research.
Very similar to the slut walk with Amber Rose. Do you think you could turn a hoe into a housewife?
I don't want to answer that, but I think the best person to answer that would probably be Kanye.
Ooh.
See how the comedy cut deep?
Yeah. Did you know she's been divorced 5 times?
5?
That's what I said.
I know it's the basketball player. Okay,
Which
I know it's
basketball
Kanye.
player?
Chris Humphries used to play for the Nets.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It was a guy before him. Kanye. Wait a minute, I said Kanye, Chris. I don't know who the other guys were, but okay.
No, Ray J, right?
No, I think he was just smashing back in the day.
Oh, okay. Do you think that what Kanye is doing is madness or more of a cultural commentary?
It is his bipolar behavior, not being medicated. So I'll clown on him just because it's comedic fodder. But seriously, that young man needs some mental health help.
Mm-hmm.
And those that are around gassing him up, whether it be gaslighting or actually gassing him, like influencing him, like, yeah, go do that, dog. Talk about it. Wait a minute, player. That's the mother of his children. Yeah, he moved on, she moved on, but you never really lose 100% attachment of the person that gave life to your children. I mean, you cannot stand their guts and just accept the fact they exist. But they need to, especially the media, need to stop that.
Yeah.
Kind of like when Kevin Hart had his infidelity. The world didn't need to know that.
Yeah, there's. I have a friend who's it's not a breakup, but
But this is the Breakup Diaries. We gotta tell their
story. They adopted a Buildabear. You know what Buildabear is? They adopted a Buildabear and they're claiming it as their child, and it's not comedic relief. They're 1,000% very serious about this, and people are like gassing them up. Say it again.
In therapy to teach them how to be a parent. You know, when you're in high school, they give you the aid till you don't break the aid.
Yeah, but this is a grown ass man
with a Buildabear.
Yeah.
Does he have a yellow jacket and a raincoat and a hat?
No. Oh, yeah, what you talking about? That was super, super throwback. Some people won't understand that reference.
Exactly.
But yeah, it just worries me how we encourage people's illness. That's not really a question, but.
Yes, I know where you're trying to go with that, I think. But society now is coddling everybody's thoughts so we don't offend anyone. And some of those coddles are definitely unnecessary. I won't get into some of my personal beliefs because some of your viewers may fit into these fields. I don't want to offend them at all.
No, offend them. I don't care.
No negative, Ghost Rider. Not going to happen today. On stage, yes, because I already got paid. If I talk about them ahead of time, I might not get paid. They might not come to my show.
Oh, word. Okay.
I got to think business first.
Mm-hmm.
But no, some things are like, I think you asked me a question once, whether it was on YouTube or starting this link, about whether or not I could handle the word no as an adult.
Yeah.
I think that's an excellent question. And a pretty decent answer in reply would be, yes, I can personally handle it because I handled it as a child and accepted it as a child. Because I learned that as a child, when I was told no, whatever I wanted, then I had to go fight for it and make it work myself. That process made me stronger, smarter, and better. If someone had just gave it to me, then I don't appreciate it. And I can transfer that to other lessons in life, like being a spoiled brat or somebody with affluenza, like the kid in Texas that had the Porsche that was drinking and doing coke and smoking and killed 4 people. He was so rich, he didn't know he wasn't supposed to do it. Get out of here. I so want to say something else, but I won't cuss.
Say something else. It's fine.
I try to keep it clean for you.
No, you don't have to keep. Have you seen my stuff? You don't have to keep it clean. I don't get monetized at all. I
Wow.
will never get monetized.
Wow.
I've accepted that 5 years. I've accepted that. I will never get monetized. Say
I'm gonna
whatever's
make
on
a
your
show
mind.
that kicks off your money. Pay this woman. She works hard for the money. And I'm not singing the song.
No, everything I say is too controversial, and which I don't care. This is just a fun time for me. But okay. So people hate plural everyone. Everyone hates Dave Chappelle, Steve Harvey, Whoopi Goldberg, Al Sharpton. I just recently learned this. In
Permed out,
conclusion, huh?
permed out pimp preacher.
Yeah.
That's my man.
In conclusion, Black role models. People hate Michael Jordan. I don't know if you saw the photos of Michael Jordan having fun at the All-Star game. People are like, "Oh, how dare he smile?" It's like, what? Like, but do you think that there is an agenda to smear the successful Negro?
Do I think? Oh, hell no. I know there is. It all feeds back into white supremacy. When someone feels inferior, in order for them to feel superior, they must denigrate or demigod somebody. Unfortunately, Western European culture, and I want to specify that because Eastern Europeans, they kind of get looked at as the European version of the N-word. So I want to stick with Western, Germany, France, England, the Netherlands, Spain, Portugal, not Ireland. All those countries in the past for like the last 400 or 500 years have basically been telling the world that the black is inferior. And now that they got the world to buy into that, guess who capitalizes off of it? Their offspring. So once you perpetuate that lie and get people to buy into it, you got to keep it going. Even if you don't believe it, it's your source of income now. So although we may argue and bicker about, I'm from the black tribe, you're from the white tribe, you're from the Asian tribe, we're all from the human tribe. You stop fighting amongst each other.
Yeah.
But that racism stuff got to go, especially in media, because there's too many of us on this planet for y'all to say that we're inferior. We can do the same thing y'all can do.
Yeah. Do you think that is justified for our dislike of Dave Chappelle?
No. The dislike for Dave Chappelle is a bunch of lemmings following what the media is feeding them. If you look at Dave Chappelle, and I'm not looking at this through a comics eye, I'm going to look through this through Ed, my real name, Ed. I'm looking through Ed's eyes, and I see a black man on stage who came up through the ranks, busted his butt, and has finally reached the top. There's only one way down.
Yeah.
Dave has not had that. When he was at the top, he left.
Yeah.
Because he knew it was coming. They were trying to censor his show, get him to act out of character, do things to denigrate himself, other people on the show, and as a black man representing the black culture, they wanted him to basically put the dress on.
Yeah.
So what he did was stepped away so that negativity couldn't be in his life and they couldn't use that against him. Now he's come back. And what is he doing? He's attack mode with facts behind him that people can't deny. They can be offended that they heard it, but what he's saying is not a lie. And that's the crux of it for Dave Chappelle. Now, I want to talk about Steve Harvey, but he's from Cleveland. I'm from Cleveland. I'm not going to put that bad karma on me because I'm not famous yet. But once I get there.
Steve?
So what?
You don't like Steve?
I think Eddie Griffin should have taken his place on the Kings of Comedy.
Really?
Yes. During that time, Chris Rock should have been on there. Eddie Griffin should have been on there. But that's for another topic. We could probably do that show later. But Steve Harvey's a good comedic actor. I love what he does for his, the Family Feud. Not so much on the radio show.
Really? Literally the only radio show I listen to. I cannot stand Charlemagne. I don't know why. I don't know what something I like. I enjoyed his interview with Kamala. So he has like good points, but something about him like irks my. I think probably he looks like one of my ex-boyfriends. Probably. I think it's probably why I don't like him.
You date turtles?
I do. I love bald men.
Man.
I love bald men. I do.
Almost. He looks like a turtle. I'll leave it there.
Should we stop calling ourselves black?
Black? Hell yes. Again, it goes back to that tribalism I was talking about earlier. I'm from the black culture. I'm from the white culture. If you're not part of my culture, F you. We're
Yeah.
all humans. And if you look at it medically and scientifically, and if you believe what is said about paleontology, when they're looking at old bones, dinosaurs, animals, people, the oldest bones come from either Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, or southwestern Saudi Arabia. People over there got brown skin, which means eventually that DNA turned light somehow.
Yeah.
So all those that hate on black, you're hating on your ancestors, you ding dongs. You know, black people can make it albino. 2 white people can't make a nigga I know. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Eddie Griffin, for that line. I don't usually use the N word, but I was quoting Eddie Griffin.
No, you're fine. Like I said,
Thank
don't
you for the compliment. That's the first one I've gotten today.
You're so.
You look like this, and people just like.
Happy belated President's Day.
Mm.
Oh no.
I appreciate the day off because I'm a government worker and all, my real job. But presidents, I look at them as figureheads for big business to represent this country and the business values of the country. I don't really look at a president as someone representing my interests and the everyday interests of people. Because one, the Electoral College picks the president. We, the people, don't.
No.
We have what's called a popular vote. That basically means we're just going through the voting process. The Electoral College actually has the ability to go against our popular vote and vote who they want.
Yeah.
Once that power is taken from the people, I know right then and there that I didn't select a president. If I didn't select you to represent me, then I don't care about you, bro.
It's kind of like
You got me
people
on my
like say it again.
You got me on my soapbox today.
Oh no, you're fine. It's kind of like the people who are like the faces of like brands, you know, like Shaq is the face of Papa John's now, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't eat Papa John's, you know, like what do you make that face for?
I applaud Shaq for doing what he's doing, trying to step in because he was a stockholder back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
When the original owner of Papa John made his racist statements, and they kind of like, hey man, we the board want you not to be the face of the company, get off these commercials. We're gonna put somebody black on the commercials to represent us to make up for what you did. You know, I'm never gonna say Shaq is a coon, but I think the board is using him to get favor amongst minorities back into the company. Mm-mm. Yeah, it made you think about that one.
No, I was gonna ask you a question, but like,
go for it. I'm open.
Are you sure? It's not something I wrote down.
Go for it.
I find that, especially particularly lately, it's been happening all my life, but particularly lately, like people have been like asking me to do things because like we just need a black voice, we need a black face, and actually I'm going to an audition after this because they're looking for black actresses, but it's like I don't want to do that anymore, and I feel so ungrateful.
Have you just found unfulfilling roles, or is it you have no love?
All of them are unfulfilling. They're all unfulfilling.
You got to keep looking.
It's nothing challenging. It's nothing challenging my acting range. It's a good resume filler. It's good for networking. But it's like I have so much more range than this.
Come on up.
I'm so much more than this. Like being your puppet because you just need a black face.
I need you to come on up to Duval right here in the 904. Get a
hold of
the cloud. So once we log off, when you hit our podcast up on Sunday, the Signal 27 radio show, because I said I was going to mention it later. After the show, get a hold of Leroy Gordon. He leads the podcast. He and David Emanuel, the other comedians on the show, they do acting on the side. They're in the middle of some plays and TV series right now. So you want some challenging? Let's get you somebody from California. Let's get that Barry on there for you.
I used to live in Jacksonville.
Come back.
No, never. That's the one city I will never, ever go back to.
No, I'm trying to leave too.
I lived there for 5 years. Oh my God. Talk about miserable. Oh my God.
Yeah. 5 years for you. You're jinxing the Kardashians. You can't come back. You're going to get her divorced again.
Oh no. Okay. If you were president, what would you change / maintain?
Day one, item one, line one. in systemic racism throughout every facet of American culture. Laws, housing, banking, schooling, medicine, all that. Anything that racism capitalizes off of is getting cut.
What is people say that, I don't know what that specifically means.
I'll give you a couple examples.
Okay.
I'll try to keep it quick. If you control the money, you control the people, correct?
Yeah.
A majority of business owners, if not all major Fortune 500 company owners, are Caucasian.
Yeah, yeah.
Not one black owner. So black people can't influence the money going into a black neighborhood because they're not hiring blacks. Because you're not hiring blacks, some whites that are racist, not all whites are racist. I want y'all to hear me say that. Not all whites are racist. I didn't get this color for no reason. There's some white in there. There's a lot of black in there too. Y'all should get that joke when you watch it on replay. But when you control the money, you control people's incomes. You can force them into lower incomes. Once you force them into lower incomes, you force them into a living situation in the city where they're buying cheap houses. Cheap houses return low taxes. Schools are funded from tax money. If your city doesn't produce a lot of tax money, schools can't get a lot of education. They can't get books. They can't have sports, whatever. Therefore, the kids are educationally behind from the get-go. Knowing that, what controlled that whole thing from the beginning? Racism, white people owning companies, hiring blacks at low wages. Blacks can only afford houses at this degree because they have low wages, which means they're paying taxes to the city of this much. The city can only kick out so much tax to the school. You take the same scenario and you flip it to Bel Air, where people are millionaires and billionaires. Hell, all their kids probably got $200,000 or $300,000 spent per child, K through 12. They're going to go to college. They're going to get a good education. I grew up in a city where they were spending $3,000 per year per child from K through 12. I was educationally at a deficit. Thankfully, I went to the military, so
Thank you for your service.
I didn't hear you.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. You know what? People tell me that, and I think it's funny because I literally had fun and party my whole 10 years in the Air Force.
Oh.
I mean, I got some cultural growth. You know, I went to foreign countries, learned different languages, learned a lot about history and religion. I was at least open-minded enough to speak to people in those countries whose countries are older than America. Hey, let me talk to you about history and religion to see what the difference is between what you guys are taught and learned and what we're taught and learned in America. Ooh, there's some differences.
Mm. Speaking of partying, how long have you been mixologist?
Oh, God. You would ask that question when I'm not at the bar. I wanted to do this whole thing at the bar, but my phone wouldn't turn the mic on. I'm sorry, everybody. I was going to make y'all agree live on air. So mixology, about 5 years, just joking around with family and friends. My brother, he went to the Army when I went to the Air Force. When he got out, he was a bartender. I loved what he did. It's just I couldn't do it. I'm really not the people person back then. I'm a little older now, so I'm calm. I can talk to people. And mix that with watching the tipsy bartender, how he layers the drinks. Once you see the science of, wow, this guy's layering this and this liquid's on here, this color's here, they don't mix. And once you do a layer drink, you can kind of taste the flavor as the layers go down instead of mixing it. Oh, man. He won me over with. Now I want to do it for real. Like professionally, I want to take my VA loan, buy a building, own it, not just buy the building and somebody manage it. I want to own it, run it. I want to be behind the bar when I choose to be, because it's better to be the boss than the employee at times. Mm-hmm. And now you'll see some other comedians, we're on a vegan kick. They're on a vegan kick. I'm a carnivore to my heart.
Oh, no.
Hey, I won't say the other thing, but I want to give that vegan alcohol a try. If you can still have the taste of alcohol, but not be as messed up, because alcohols have a lot of sugar, which can spike your diabetes, which can spike your liver and pancreas and the insulin's going through your body. You know, I don't want to mess people up. I want them to enjoy their drink. So why not give them a healthier version that tastes the same?
I never really thought about that. I do find that since I started bartending years ago, I don't like mixed drinks. Huh?
You too?
Yeah, I'm a bartender.
Oh man, we'll talk.
Yeah. So I find that whenever I go out, I always order the same basic thing because like a lot of people don't understand the art of creating a really good craft cocktail. So it's like I don't want to. I'm gonna tip you, but I don't want to. Just give me something basic and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me,
But yeah, I definitely respect the art of cocktails and wine. I'm a huge wino. I know beer. I don't drink it, but I know beer.
No
Say it
winos.
again.
Winos on the street with a bottle of Thunderbird. Old school
Oh,
people know what I'm talking about with a bottle of Thunderbird. Some
oh,
Mad Dog 2020.
oh
That Wild
God,
House Rose.
that's offensive to me.
You are a wine. You know about pouring it, sniffing it, swishing it.
Oh yes.
Okay, you're a wine connoisseur. You're not a wino.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that to yourself.
Well, I prefer sommelier, but whenever I say that, people think I'm sneezing. So. Okay. Oh, okay. So I don't know if you saw this, but there was a fight in I believe it was a mall in New Jersey, where it's a white kid and a black kid fighting. And they arrested the black kid. This is gonna sound like it's backwards, but I'm gonna relate in a second. Black women are #1 trending in porn in several states and countries around the world. Why are black people both scary and sexy?
Okay, that sounds like two topics at once. So I'll hit you with this.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you say on your YouTube podcast, somebody said you should be in that career field. I'm not going to mention it. Now I get Kim Kardashian, black women in porn, and hoes. Let it go. But black people are not scary, to answer the third question first. Again, that feeds back into the inferiority complex of the Western European, who thinks that in order to make themselves better, they must make us lower, which is not true. When you work together as a team, the whole team comes up. When one thinks they're better than another, you may have some achievement, but you can't work without the bottom. Bring us together, we'll double our income. So I'll leave it at that. Black women in porn, I'll joke and say that black people make better movies because we don't have the whole, hey, welcome to the office. Let me see your job skills. Yep. Wow, you're really qualified. No, when the black people come on, as soon as you hit the play button,
yeah, let's get straight to the point. Yeah.
Well, now, I will say this. I'm not a big porn connoisseur. I'm aware that it exists. I've seen some movies. For the most part, those people are physically unattractive. I think that's why they invented the 69, because once you flip them around, you can't see their face. You can get it. It's like, But you can't do a doggy style because every now and then you hit the doggy style, she turn around like, ooh, and then you see her face and everything go, ooh.
Yeah.
See? I got you. Got your porn covered, got your hoes covered, got Kardashian covered. Okay. Did you ever see that movie with Kim Kardashian and Ray J? That sucks. Her head game sucks. Don't watch it.
Oh, you mean the video?
Yes. She
I never saw it.
She was high on E, so she wasn't like really there.
I never saw it. Who was it that leaked it?
Ray J.
Oh, she needs to stop dating men who like expose her. But I'm not her therapist, so. Are you gonna see that? Are you gonna see the Pamela Anderson Tommy Lee? No, why?
This much interest.
Why?
That was live.
That's like our age. That's like, we remember this.
Girl, you are not close to my age. I'm probably
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
I don't know if this screen shows that this is my right hand side. This is the other end of my age.
You're not that old. You're not that old.
Off camera, I'll show you a picture of my driver's license.
Okay, I mean, yeah. Okay.
I look 28. I'm 50.
What do you do to like not look 50?
Genetics.
You don't like work out or like eat healthy or like skincare routine or?
I used to work out when I was in the service, and the first 5 years after I got out. Intermittently, I would work out, but for the most part, it's genetics. I mean, the black hides a lot. You know, I love cream donuts, if you know what I'm saying.
Bro, free donut.
And you are what you eat. You look like what you eat. So guys, stop eating pussy. You
Why did Prince Harry mess up marrying Meghan Markle?
Oh, you ain't know?
No.
Okay, for you and your listeners, most of y'all have heard that there's like 6 powerful families that run America, the Illuminati, or basically run the world. I want to say that it's the Rothschilds, the Vanderbilts, the Bilderbergs, and the Windsors. The Windsor family is not actually British, although Queen Elizabeth is of the Windsor family. They're actually German 5-6 generations ago, so like 700 years ago. Great-great-great-great-grandfather came to England. It was like King Harry V or some crap. Anyway, he's a Windsor. All that Windsor history and money is passing down through her to Harry.
Yeah.
You let a black person in. Meghan Markle's half black, but you're still 1 ounce of black blood. You're black in their eyes. So those kids, you notice once they got married, she got pregnant, then you start hearing the claims of racism, or they're kicking her out the palace and the rest of the family won't talk to them. It's Illuminati money.
So who's going to get that money then?
What's the other brother? The Ball brothers. The one in the army, the one with red hair.
That's Andrew.
No, which one?
The one married to Kate Middleton?
Yes. Their kids are getting the money. And if you check it, they're billionaires before they're 10 years old.
Yeah.
Which is weird because the British royalty is not really royalty. They were selected hundreds of years ago just to represent the crown after they got rid of the kings and queens system. They got lucky. I want to look up into some money.
Honestly. Say that again. Okay. So talk to us about the Signal 27 show.
Yes, there we go. Signal 27 radio show. You can catch me and my fellow comedians every Sunday at 6:30 on Facebook. We're on almost all social media platforms. So if you want to check us out on YouTube, Twitch, Stitcher, if you're riding in your car, you can just listen. Hey, do so. We are hilarious. And just like Ashley, we'll talk about some serious topics. We'll joke on the side. And for some reason, I'm the butt of most people's jokes. I just got to roll with it because one day I'm going to be on stage. I'm going to get all the asses at once. Nothing but love and respect for all my comedians. Y'all hear me say that there's no beef. I don't want y'all thinking he hates his own podcast.
Oh, no. Wait, are you guys really going to do the Fat Boys of Comedy one day?
Yeah. Yeah. But to further it, you were asking about the podcast. The reason we even created the podcast is because we're sick and tired of comedy and talent in general leaving Jacksonville, such as yourself. We need actresses. We need minority actresses.
It's true, though. It's so true.
Back in the day, I spoke with Lil Duval, and he mentioned how he had to go to Atlanta to leave. He had to go to Orlando and do stuff at night. Eventually, he finally got on and had to go to California and just decided, hey, I'm going to stay here because opportunity is there. As big as Jacksonville is, being America's largest city, land-wise, mass-wise, we have like 2 million people here, and there's plenty of room to expand. Why can't we make this a mecca of entertainment, especially black comedy? We should have to go to Chicago, like Second City, or go up to New York, go to Dallas like Steve Harvey did to get on once he left Cleveland. No, we have the talent here. We have the space. We have the money. We have great comics that nobody knows about yet. Y'all go out and listen to my man, Big Chip. You talk about clean Christian comic that brings it, you will cry laughing at his routine. He talking about getting halfway baptized, and you're like, how the hell you get halfway baptized? You in the water, you're not. They just dip like the right side of the body in? No, he tells the whole story, man. It's freaking hilarious. You know, stuff like that, the world needs to experience. So we're going to give it to them, and this is going to be our first step, which is Signal 27 podcast. So local talent can come on the podcast, advertise themselves. We advertise on their shows. We go show them love at their shows, and they show us love. So we're building. So this is the first stage. Y'all come along for the ride.
It's really awesome how you guys like allow people on your show, allow them to talk about what they do, like, and It's very considerate. Conclusions, what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. We're here to build. We don't want to say, oh, we're Citadel 27, we're about us. We're about the community. In general, we definitely want to support minorities, but we're definitely about the community. So if you want to come on, we can link you through Zoom, or if you ever come up to Jacksonville on the weekend, we can do a show for you.
Why do you still wear your mask during the show?
I work in a VA hospital, and if I don't have my mask on, government is going to get me, especially since I have not gotten the jab yet.
No.
Yeah, I'm not exactly pro-jab. There's some benefits to it. There's some drawbacks. You know, personally, I'll let the world in. There's no big secret. You guys may have heard other comedians saying I have MS. I really do. You don't see me shaking and stuff yet, but I hide the tremors or they're off camera or something to that effect. But there's certain medications that can exacerbate MS, and there's certain outcomes from it. Guillain-Barré disease, I believe it's called. You can get it from the flu shot. You can get it from COVID. Since COVID is a cousin to the flu, the treatment is going to be the same. And I don't want to risk that because Guillain-Barré or Guillain-Barré, however you pronounce it, it damages your nerve endings, causing paralysis. MS damages your nerves, not just the endings, the nerves, and can cause muscle spasms or paralysis. So I don't want to take a medicine that could exacerbate what I have. Turn into a milkshake. Oh, pause. Did I just?
Yeah, it's fine. We're all adults. Kids don't watch my channel. At least I hope they don't.
If I ever get that bad, boy, it'll be fine in a couple of years.
Oh no, that's so interesting how something that's supposed to like make you well can backfire on you.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it because mine.
No, of course, no, yes, of course. Okay, okay. So once again, please plug your plug where we can follow you, like you, stalk you, all that fun stuff.
I'm not plugging shit. I will mention. Nah, she got that. Signal 27 radio show, Facebook, 6:30s every Sunday p.m. If we're not live, you can catch our reruns. They're archived in Facebook. You can play them back and watch.
Eastern Standard Time for those of you who are I hate.
We have one listener from New Zealand.
Say it again.
We have one listener from New Zealand. She checks
in
really? Twice a month.
I love the Aussies. I think they like me. I think the Aussies like me. Okay. So what last question and then you don't like the Aussies?
No. Our listener is from New Zealand. She's a Kiwi.
Oh, a Kiwi. Oh, I don't think I've ever met a Kiwi.
American Kiwi.
Oh, fun fact. Yeah. Okay. Last question, then I'll let you go. Like I was saying earlier, I'm having a hard time setting boundaries with you get to stretch for this with setting boundaries with other adults, you know. And I've made a lot of people mad this year, and it's only February because I say no. What do I do?
Keep saying no. There are people out there that are used to hearing yes. They don't appreciate what's being given to them. Screw them. There are also people out there who will just use you and try to make you feel like you owe them that gratitude when they didn't earn it. Something a sergeant told me when I was in the service: respect is earned, not given. Yeah, I have this rank, but you haven't worked under me yet. Now, I appreciate him for that because it taught me as I was coming up through the ranks not to be a D-head when I was in the service and just say, hey, I'm Sergeant Danner. I got 4 stripes. Do what I say. You know, I had to show my troops. I knew the job. I was willing to get in there down and dirty with them. So when I asked them to do something in the future, they understood. I understood the goal, how it affected them, and they were willing to do it. When people just expect you to say yeah and they get offended when you say no, you may meet 1,000 of those people. You got to say peace to every one of them with no conscience because they are no good humans. You're going to hear no a lot. The most successful salesperson ever is the one who's told no the most. Why? Yeah. Because they ask the most people. So, yeah, they may have been told 1 million times no, but they may have asked 5 million people and got 4 million. Yes, if that math is correct. 1 million, 4 million, 5 million. There we go. The math is still good.
Okay.
So don't be discouraged. You know how many times I've been on stage and people just like didn't get a joke and sat there like I'll give you an example if I still have a little bit of time left.
Yeah.
I told a joke about a little person.
Okay.
So the joke basically goes, hey, you know, at my regular job, I work in the hospital and I'm the first black supervisor in my office. And everybody, I was like, please don't clap. I had that one in Air Force. I don't want it again. Now you get it. See that delayed reaction?
Oh no!
Anyway, my first day as a supervisor, one of my employees came up and said, I want to file sexual harassment charges on the guy.
No, you're lying.
No.
You're
I'm like,
lying.
why would you want to do that? She was like, well, every day we go in the elevator at the same time, and this guy tells me that my hair smells nice. I'm like, that's not
It's a
sexual
compliment.
Thank you. She's like, no, you don't understand. The guy's a midget.
So I can't. Okay.
Ah,
wow. Oh, I get it. That was good.
I told that joke once, and the crowd did not laugh. You know,
that took me a hot second. That took me. Okay.
You on stage, you just keep rolling with it. So I was into the next segment of the joke, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, he's a midget!"
I like those delayed responses though. Can I steal that one? I'm only gonna share with 2 people.
It's copywritten. Now, granted, it's online with a timestamp because we're on this show, but you know, I don't mind. If you heard the Fabler comedian say she can use the joke, she can use the joke. Future Fabler, don't sue her.
Well, Fabler, thank you so much for taking your time to speak with me. I'm definitely going to take your advice to heart, and I'm going to go to this audition a bit chagrined, but I'm going to go.
Break a leg. And I finally learned where that came from because they're in a cast. So you break a leg cast.
I heard the story that I heard, which I'm pretty sure is a lie, is that the best performance that happened on a night in Shakespeare was when someone broke their leg on stage.
That's not a good night, unless it was.
I know. I'd like to say it's probably a lie, but like that's what I keep bringing. Yeah, but
go with the other one. The play is.
Okay. Thank you so much for talking to me. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
Thank you, and thank you everybody that was out there watching and listening.
Ciao.
Good night.